I'm Leroy Watson, Legislative Director for the National Grange in Washington, D.C. The National Grange is the nation's oldest general farm and rural public interest organization. Well, broadband matters particularly in rural communities because, quite frankly, the cultural differences between rural and urban areas in the United States are fading away very quickly. Large parts of America still aren't connected significantly with broadband. A lot of the mapping efforts that have gone on are showing us wide gaps in deployment regimes all across the country. Access to services and facilities that are taken for granted in urban and suburban areas often are a stress in rural areas. We have problems getting access to adequate health care, access to adequate education, adequate public safety. And so these types of issues can be mitigated by the deployment of broadband in rural areas because we can start to bring some of these services to rural people who don't have them available in their communities. Well, the first aspect is to make sure that we get access. So we need to make sure that all Americans have access to some degree of broadband related to sort of current applications and uses. The next thing we need to do is educate people about the advantages that broadband can bring to their communities. And part of that education could include additional means to get computers and other material into homes so that it can be used. So for those communities that are worried about job loss and worried about job creation, and the purpose of the stimulus, which is to put jobs out there immediately, the rural broadband grants are probably going to be one of the fastest and most effective ways that we can do that, and in building infrastructure for future economic development as well. We know that a new generation of farmers is going to be coming to grow our food, our fiber, our renewable fuels within a very short period of time, probably within the next decade or so. People coming to live in rural communities are not going to accept the degree of isolation and separation from the normal course of business and commerce and society in the 21st century. And we have to be proactive about making sure that we bring the best available communication technologies to those people so they can be active participants in the global community in the 21st century. In many respects, the untapped economic potential of rural American and hardworking people living in those communities offers us an opportunity for continued national growth and development of our economic system for many years to come. But people just need the infrastructure and the help necessary to unleash that entrepreneurial possibility in order to be able to be productive members of society. And we think that the deployment of broadband is a keystone technology that will help us do that.